What is going on, dudes and dudettes, gamers and gamettes, lads and lassies? Welcome back to another voyaging episode of Games and Gamers. Danger is not here. This is his birthday month. He's off doing his own stuff in the background, making his own special episodes, talking about, Nintendo. But I'm not... Yeah, he has, and so I'm not gonna judge. I gave him permission to do this because we're gonna be doing Final Fantasy through the entire month of March. I am so excited. It's my birthday month, Dale.
I know. I'm scoffing at both of you going, it's my birth month.
It's not both of us, it's me. I gave him February because that's his birthday month, and so I was like, yeah, you know what? Why the fuck not? I'm gonna do the exact same thing. But I'm also this is gonna be the only time that this actually happens because I'm going to. By the way, everybody, this is my buddy Dale. He was a co-host on Dokkan Wen with us for a very long time. Say hi, Dale.
Hello.
Welcome to Games and Gamers.
It's a me.
It's a him, a Dale.
It's a me. It's a me, Daleo.
But
Daleo Contos, if you would.
Daleo
Yeah.
Contos, Daleo and Hayden, Daleo Contos. But anyway, this is going to be the only time we ever do something like this where Danger takes over for an entire month because I'm trying to get, I think I told you I'm getting Games and Gamers set to Spotify and iTunes, and I'm also working on another little side project. I told you about it, but it's a side project right now. It's not public project. But
public knowledge.
It is not yet. But so yeah, this is the only time we're going to do this. Like next year, it's not going to be this kind of hectic. I'll give him whatever, and he can take it. He can choose whatever game he wants to choose, he can choose. But we're going to do the same thing for March next year on my birthday. But also, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out at the end of February, so I wanted to do Final Fantasy 16 for my birthday, which is my birthday game. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth just happens to come out before my birthday.
Ooh.
So yeah, I don't know. That's not so much a birthday month. It's a Hayden wants to play his games. And I'm so fucking excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Dale.
Are you?
Yes. I've put an ungodly amount of hours in the 7 franchise already. It's just it's
the only ones I've ever touched. Well, was it 15?
Yep.
With Noctis.
And we did 10.
That one that me and you played. 10, yeah. Didn't like 10 so much. I enjoyed 15, other than how the story events came down to it.
I feel like you're gonna like 16.
I don't know. I'll know when it comes out on PC.
It's supposed to come out this year on PC.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thank God. Dude, I'm waiting for fucking God of War 2. What is it, Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for Ragnarok.
That one is.
I really want that.
And Valhalla. I finally got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. God damn it. I have God of War Valhalla and Ragnarok. I just haven't played them yet. But since Dale is Dale's a big avid fan of our show because we play a lot of video games, right, Dale?
Oh yeah, super.
Dale, I really feel like you'd like our show.
I don't consume a lot of that type of media.
What, reviewing games? You're the dude who will literally sit down and listen to anime manga reviews. What's the difference with the video games?
So manga reviews is because I'm too lazy to go translate the mangas by myself, so I let someone else do it and review it.
Okay. How about this, Dale? Do me a quick favor and look at our YouTube channel, Games and Gamers Podcast, and tell me how many of those games that we've played you would want to even play.
All right, but it doesn't count if I've already played them.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's entirely a thing, and I can tell you because it's not. It's because it's public knowledge. Like our next lineup of games up until May, so you can look, and this is the whole point of it. If people don't want to play the games, we try and convince them to play the games, or if they don't want to, then they never have to. Because we got a lot of stuff out there. We've got a lot of good games coming in. Like, actually, tomorrow, I'll tell you this because this will be out in February. Tomorrow is going to be Batman Arkham Asylum.
There it is. Let's stop. Fucking your Games and Gamers 2024 popped up and it just started bleeding my ears.
It's a games of the year.
Let's see. So I played that one. Played that one. Played that one. Played that one. Played that one.
Which ones are... Hey, Ed, now, yeah, you've never played... Some of these I know you haven't played.
Mario Odyssey, I have played.
Mario Odyssey? Mass Effect's
Dragon
not...
Ball Z Kakarot.
Okay, Mass Effect, take that one out, because that one's not a review. That's just my dad and I talking about Mass
theory.
Effect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just my dad and I talking. Yeah, that one's fine.
I played the original one.
And this is the remake, so different. This is...
Still count. Same game.
It half counts.
Alien Isolation. Played it.
Okay. Okay.
Flamethrower.
Yeah, I know, because you were originally supposed to be the co-host on that, so it was supposed to be there, and you never beat it, so I had to go do it myself. So you never beat that one. So that one doesn't count. If that one shouldn't count because you've played that's 3 or 4 hours in.
Spider-Man. I've played.
Fair.
Last of Us. I've played.
Fair.
The Forest. I've played 1 and 2.
Fair. I want to play Sons of the Forest. Okay.
Final Fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy game. I mean,
it's 7 remake. You'd like that one because it's more faster pace.
A Plague Tale.
Yep.
I watched videos on it and went, "Oh, it's a story game."
Dude, it's such a good game though.
Sea of Stars. Never heard of.
It was the 2023 indie game of the year.
Be that as it may.
RPG.
Never popped up on my radar.
Turn-based RPG.
Parasite Eve. I don't know that one.
Parasite Eve, 1999 PS1 game. Plays kind of like Final Fantasy, newer Final Fantasies mixed with Resident Evil.
Maybe if they made a remake.
But anyway, yeah. See, Dale, these are games that you could be like, oh, well, maybe I'm never going to play them, so let's hear how they actually go. That's the point. That's,
So you are greatly misnomering how I it's I'll listen to game lore all day long.
Yeah, and you don't think of Hayden or give some game lore?
If it's a game that I don't know about, I probably won't watch it.
But then also we got Batman Arkham Asylum's coming up. Actually, like I said, tomorrow.
I've played all of those. I've 100%ed all of those.
Okay.
I love the shit out of them.
Life is Strange will be next.
The
first
one. That one. It's a story game.
It's narrative. It's like Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, exactly. It's narrative. I'm
Then
very kick punchy, smash shooty.
Silent Hill. I know you haven't played the original Silent Hill.
I didn't say I did.
I know. You didn't even talk about it. You just kind of skipped past it
because I didn't see it. I saw Mario Odyssey and went, "Ooh, I played that one."
Yeah. So then after that we have Final Fantasy 16, then 7 Rebirth, and
Silent Hill did I play though?
Probably 2 with James and Pyramid Head.
Yeah, it was with Pyramid Head.
Yeah, this is the first one. But then after that, we're going to have Breath of the Wild. We're going to do Dino Crisis.
Played Breath of the Wild, both of them.
Last of Us 2.
There was also one I played where you would run through a maze of ice walls. It was I think it was on the Wii.
Shattered Memories. I have that one.
Yeah, I played that one too.
So, and also anyway, I think you should at least listen to some of our stuff, Dale. You'd probably like our just banter back and forth. It's fun. We have fun. But since we're on the topic of video games, we got to go into our typical session of what the media. So, since Dale knows this stuff, I'll explain it out there for all you listeners who don't know. What the media is just kind of the games we're playing right now. What's on our radar? Well, I guess not even games, it's just media. We've watched this TV show. We're reading a book. We found a new music artist.
I got 2 things for us if we can talk about any media.
As long as it is adult friendly.
It's both of them I would think are very adult friendly because one of them is a Christian author, and the other it was once a teen book.
Okay, that's not enough. That's not where I thought that was about to go.
Don't worry.
So yeah,
These are fun for the whole household.
it's literally just like whatever books you're reading, give like in video games, TV shows, media itself. So Dale, what's your media?
So for TV show, the Percy Jackson TV series.
How is that?
Oh my god, it's great. Dude, the portrayals of all the characters, how the characters interact with each other, how they're actually sticking close to the book. I have one problem with it, and one problem alone. It's the fact that the kid who plays Grover doesn't use polio sticks, doesn't use like the little crutches that polio people use to walk, and it bothers me because I'm like, man, there were so many just gags in the book of him using them as like a weapon or like something to grab something. And that one, I'm like, when I see it. But other than that, great.
Okay.
Book series. The Stormlight Archive.
Why do I feel like I've heard of that one?
Because it's by Brandon Sanderson, the guy who finished Wheel of Time. He's got like 80 million different book series out there. The Stormlight Archive is honestly one of the best thought of like worlds that I have read in a long time. Like, as in, he's got everything figured out. As in, like, oh, this is what this certain race of people looks like, and this is how they talk, and this is how the magic works, and this is how like the continent connects, and this is why this is all interconnected, and these are why the trade routes work through here. Like, down to the nitty gritty, he has this place thought out. And he's got, like I said, like 23 other book series that all take place in the same universe. And then he's got a new book series coming out that takes place in a different universe. Did you ever see the Mistborn books?
No, I've heard about it. I heard about the Stormlight just because my middle niece, or I guess youngest niece, just middle child out of all of them, but like the middle one, as I think reading them.
Okay, so they are. I like to call it family friendly. There are a few things, like, of course, there are people getting,
dirty.
What would you? No, not getting dirty, but
fucking.
No, getting
horny.
Getting turned into ghosts.
Oh, killed.
There's plenty of. I don't know how.
Dale, we don't
know.
We don't care. As long as you're not throwing out slurs or anything like that, it's fine.
You say that some of the names that he has come up for things.
Oh God!
I was like, man, if I would say that out of context, someone would go, "Is he? What did he just say?"
Is it like Will's last name? How he used to say, if you say that, it could be an insult to somebody.
Yeah, kind of. Like, there's a race of people called Parshmen, and I feel like 100%, if I would just like walk around town calling people a Parshman, they'd be like, "All right, what the hell did you just call me?"
Okay.
Like,
I'm gonna say that at work on Thursday and call somebody a Parshman.
Yeah, Parshman.
You fucking Parshman.
Dirty dark eyes, because like the whole dichotomy of how the world works is, if you're a dark-eyed person, you can only attain a certain rank, whereas if you're a light-eyed person, you're like the ruling class.
Okay, so it's like fucking mouth breather then.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So like, there's a lot of like, oh, that damn dirty dark eyes is over here training in our arena.
That damn dirty Parshman.
But like, that's like the whole thing. Like,
okay.
Like, dark eyes compared to light eyes, like, it's not even like the typical race thing. It's like, no, he's my race, but he's a dark eyes, so he's not as good as me. It's like that kind of dichotomy where it's like split at like, oh, my father and mother both had light eyes, but I was born with dark eyes. That's a shame. Okay,
so that sounds like a lot like the Final Fantasy. I'm going to throw 16 in there because they have the magic. The bearers is what they are that use magic. If you use magic, you're frowned upon. If you have the ability to naturally use magic, you are truly frowned upon.
So it's kind of like that, yes, because the reason they put so much stock in light eyes is because the original like knights of the world were things called like heralds and the knights radiance, and when they would use their certain weapons, their eyes would glow light. Like, and that's why they put so much stock in, like, oh, he's a light eyes. It's because the original, like, knights and heralds of the world had light eyes because they were using special weapons.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. What else? Games. Games.
Been playing a lot of Risk of Rain 2. A lot of War Thunder, of course. I'm always on War Thunder for whatever reason, even though there are some days I would much rather sit butt naked on a grill. Hades. Oh.
Because Hades 2 is coming out this year.
Is it? I didn't even know, but I'm just back in Hades because I was like, you know what I haven't played in a while?
Yeah, no, Hades 2 is, I think, is slated to release like middle of this year.
I've definitely played some games that I thought were not very good. Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together.
Don't Starve I had a lot more fun with because Brian and I play it from time to time. We have a lot more fun with it than I thought we would.
I'm playing on computer. The guy that I work with that I normally play all these games with, he's also playing on computer, but he played controller. And both of us had the worst time with the, like, menus, because it's really annoying to go into the menu and then go, man, I don't know where I need to go because they have 80 million things in here, instead of having it separated by, oh, these are your tools, you know, and all that. It's like, oh, these are tools, these are alchemical things, but then you have your summer clothes and you get your winter clothes in 2 different sections. We didn't like it. Just didn't like it. Binding of Isaac. They are trying to put out a multiplayer for it, so they've been doing a bunch of multiplayer betas. I don't think I've ever had any more fun in Isaac than doing multiplayer with another person.
Okay.
And Fallout 76.
Dude, I've actually we started playing it. Danger, Brian and I started playing Fallout 76. We'll hop into it every once in a while. It's a fun little just like dick around game.
It's great because, like, I just go, man, I want to play Fallout but with people. If I don't want to play Fallout 4, I just hop in. And it's like, oh, what's in my lobby today? And you're like, oh, there's a level 1 and there's a level 999. Huh. So.
Fair. My stuff right now is, since New Year's going on, I'm getting a lot of shit taken care of. Some of my games that are a little bit over the place, like always, is original Dead Space I've played through again. I'm playing Dino Crisis 3 on my Xbox. I finally got the original Xbox hooked up. Let's see. I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm getting into it. I'm maybe about 6 hours into it.
Oh, I've got a recommendation for you since you have your original Xbox up and running.
Okay.
Play Morrowind.
No.
The remake of it is coming out either this year or next.
No.
Come on.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of Elder Scrolls stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I've had Skyrim on my Xbox 360 shelf for over a year, and I've never touched it.
It's great. Bethesda's great. I'll be right back because my din just got done. So give me like 5 minutes.
Alrighty, and along with that, then I've been doing. Let's see. I did Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm getting back into Alan Wake 2 with a new game plus. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my Wii U up and running. My Wii U is like, I think my HDMI port is kind of screwed up on the Wii U. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to go take it in to get it looked at after my next payday. And then along with that, I'm also very upset. So I ordered Parasite Eve 2 and got it on the PlayStation. And apparently ordered the European version. And I cannot play it because I don't know how to jailbreak my PS3, so it kind of sucks in that sense. So right now it's just a bit all over the place with some of the stuff I'm doing, and I was about to say TV shows. What did I watch? What's Leave the World Behind, I think is what it was. Is that the movie? I think it's Leave the World Behind. Yeah, Leave the World Behind I saw. Not that bad of a movie. Weird, but not awful. Definitely could have been better. Definitely could have been worse. If you have the ability to play it, sure. If you don't, well, I'll play it, watch it. I'm so used to talking video games. But yeah, if you have the ability to watch it, go watch it. It's really not a bad movie. But it's weird because questions don't get answered. I'm hoping, I don't know if there is, I don't know if there's like a sequel to it or any capacity, because I know it's based on a book, and I don't know if the book actually ends kind of the same way. I think it's based on a book anyway. But I don't know entirely if this is like part 1, part 2 kind of thing, or if it's literally like, oh, okay, here's the first book, the entire thing of it. All right, and we're done with it and just leave it as it is.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I was just sitting here talking about my stuff. Like, I accidentally ordered a European version of a game, and I'm very sad.
What game did you accidentally order the European version of?
Parasite Eve 2. And now I need to, like, jailbreak my PS3 in order to play it.
That's a shame.
I mean, I technically don't need to, because I can play it for free online, like I did the first one. But, man. So,
You done
I
it up.
done diddly doodly diddled. That's why I shouldn't have diddly doddly godlet for 45.89 diddlies. Do you want to eat before we actually get into this?
No, I was just taking a bite of it.
Okay. So, Dale and I have talked a lot of times, because now we're going into the game, because we talked all our stuff. Dale and I a lot of times talk about the same games. It's like, hey, we want to play this game. I've played this game, I just don't, because we're getting to the point where we're both playing a lot of games. I want to say, though Dale's played a lot of the games and Gamers games, I want to say I've played more games than Dale has now.
Well, are we including everything I have games on?
Yes.
Let's see, what's my count again on this?
Because if not, we're damn close.
So, here, let me look at just my Steam game.
Because we're looking at because right now I've got the GameCube, the Wii, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, 5, 2, Vita. Well, not Vita, the PS Portable, I mean. I've got a shit ton of games.
So do I.
And I've got older ones. Dale, did I tell you I got the original Resident Evil 2 and 3?
Really?
Yes. Part of my collection now. But while he does that, we're going to do Dead Space. Because Dead Space is one of Dale's favorite franchises.
It's up there. It is up there with Dead Space, with Dark Souls. And
Dead Space is up there with Dead Space.
Dead Space is up there with Dead Space.
God, you know what? I sure hope Dead Space can compete with even Dead Space. Have you played the Dead Space game, Dale?
No, I haven't, actually.
Man, you really should.
It'd be a shame.
But
yeah, but it's up there with the Batman games, the Dark Souls games. It's up there.
I'm trying. I'm wanting to do a Dark Souls one, but based on how Danger handled Parasite Eve's final boss, I don't think you would want him to play Dark Souls. Because Parasite Eve's final boss is a 5-phase fight, technically.
Ugh.
And he was bitching that if you lose, you have to start the fight over. And so I was like, Danger, you're going to hate like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Lies of P, all those games. Because, if you'll fight like a 2 or 3 phase boss fight. Look, what's it, Radagon?
Yeah, it's...
Like Radagon. Like Radagon's, is he 2 or 3 phases?
Radagon? Because you fight him as Radagon. In these 2 phases, you fight him as Radagon, and then you fight him as the Elden Beast.
Okay.
Each of those have like their own phase inside of it, so it's technically like 4.
Yeah. So stuff like that. It's, Morgott. Not Morgott. Is it Morgott? Dragon dude. Who's the,
That's Morgott.
That is the second one, who's like the one who like adheres his arm to the dragon?
Yeah, it's Morgott.
Okay, I thought so. I played it once, I beat it once, and I'm good on it.
I am currently in the middle of like a 3rd playthrough.
No. So, we're gonna talk Dead Space. Dale is much more of a Dead Space enthusiast. Okay, he knows. I don't know if he's more of an enthusiast, but he knows a lot more about Dead Space than I do because he's played it for a lot longer than I have. And I just got into Dead Space.
Take it as a scholar.
Dale,
I am here to preach
Altman's words. Altman be praised.
Altman be praised.
Altman.
Unitology is the way to go.
I'm actually playing RimWorld with Brian, and we've made unitologists.
RimWorld?
Yep.
How many hours do I have in that game?
I have maybe 2 because we've only played 1 day. That's not my kind of game, though, is the issue. It's not my kind of game.
Why I have so many is because it's my kind of game.
Mm-hmm. I like my story games. I'll play anyway. We're getting way off topic. So Dale's going to lead the charge. Altman be praised. So we're gonna start off with. Dale and I kind of discussed this. I don't know entirely the route we're gonna go with it.
Oh, Hayden. By the way, just in Steam, I have 505 games.
You know, you and I have about the same amount just on my PS5.
Yeah.
God. So. We're probably we're pretty close to even.
Probably, if I had to guess.
I'll beat Horizon Zero Dawn, then I'll be up by 1. So, but
I don't know because I haven't started counting all the ones that I had on Xbox or PS4.
Dale, I haven't either. I'm literally just thinking my PS5, or I guess just PS4, is because a lot of my stuff I bought on there I played on the PS5. So yeah. So anyway, so Altman be praised. Dale, you want to get us started with Dead Space and how we're going to go about through Dead Space and the good old space?
So, we are going to start with the lore of Dead Space. And what made the Ishimura come to Aegis 6?
Thrusters.
Contrary to popular belief, yes.
I thought I was about to just break you. I love doing that to Dangers. I'll say something and he will have no rebuttal.
I'll go along with it. I don't care.
So yeah, thrusters got us to Aegis 6.
Yeah. Okay. So the story starts on Aegis 6. It is a mining colony, a mining planet. As in, they take all the goods, and then a big ship comes by and physically breaks the planet apart, chunk by chunk, so they can get even more minerals out of it. So, on Aegis 6, their colony governor finds a thing called the marker. And of course, if you know what unitology is, the marker is basically like their god and their symbol. With Altman being the martyr, basically. Altman, what would you say? He's like their... I'm trying to think of any Bible person. I can't think of any of them.
Jesus.
Kinda.
He's essentially like Jesus. He's like the vessel for what the religion's based on.
Yeah, he would be Jesus. So after they find the marker, the colony governor is like, "Ooh, well, I know what I need to do." So he calls the captain of the USG Ishimura, who is also a very staunch unitology believer, and he goes, "I'll be there in." I think it's like 4 weeks is how long it takes him to get there. In between the time of the colony governor calling the USG Ishimura and the USG Ishimura getting there, the colony goes crazy. People start going mad. They get insomnia. They can't sleep. They start seeing weird things out of the corners of their eyes or having weird dreams if they can't even sleep. To the point where some people just go crazy and off themselves, and others go crazy and kill everybody else around them, which starts the necromorph outbreak.
That's Extraction, right? That's Extraction?
This is the movie, which I think Extraction and the movie take place at the same time, just on... No, Extraction is Titan Station.
Yeah,
that's number 2.
No, Extraction is what happens on the planet.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've
that's...
never played it.
I'm 90% sure Extraction is what happens, like everything go. It's people that are on it during the events leading up to the first thing.
Because I know there's one that takes place like before Isaac wakes up in Dead Space 2.
There's a DLC. I think it could be that. But I thought Extraction was on the that planet. I could be wrong, but I think it is.
Okay, yeah. Extraction is the one that takes place before 1. Ignition is the one that takes place before 2.
Okay.
The way that necromorph outbreaks start is there has to be a certain amount of flesh laying around. There has to be a certain amount of, biologicals that are no longer biologicals.
Yeah.
So that starts. And the necromorphs, all the bodies start resurrecting, turning into necromorphs, things like that. Let's see. The Ishimura gets there. And it gets there and everything is still going crazy. Like, there's still some people alive. Most of them are necromorphs by now. And the USG Ishimura gets one look at what's going on down there, and it goes, lock the bay doors. And they're like, but sir, they're calling for help. And he's like, lock the bay doors. And he said, okay. And they put down their little gravity pylons and start yanking up the marker. As that is happening, one little craft off of the colony makes it into the USG Ishimura. That craft holds an engineer and his dying wife, who slit her own throat. They make it on. And when they open the ship, there's no one inside. Because, one of them was a necromorph and the other one is soon to be a necromorph. So, let's
go into the events of the first game.
Well, close.
Oh.
Once the marker is aboard the ship, everyone on the ship starts experiencing the same things that the colony started experiencing. Insomnia, madness. People who are intelligent enough, they get dementia, which is what Isaac Clarke suffers from in the game. He gets dementia because his brain is smart enough to computate the signals that the marker is sending out and turn that into another marker, basically.
Okay.
That's why some people go insane. Some of them just, are like, oh, I'm okay with this. It's a different in intelligence. So the marker gets on, people start having insomnia, people start going crazy. They lock them up in the ship, they medicate them, things like that, throw them in the brig, and suddenly all the corpses disappear out of the morgue. And that is what prompts the outbreak to start on the Ishimura, is all the bodies disappearing out of the morgue.
Okay.
So the Ishimura sends out a distress call. Hey, we're in trouble. And that's where we come in with Isaac Clarke starting starting Dead Space 1.
Yeah, so the introduction of Dead Space 1, with Isaac and them on the thing. Isaac,
him seeing Nicole's message, all that.
And that's why he goes, right? Is because
it's his wife, yes. Or his girlfriend.
Yeah, I didn't think... yeah.
No, it's his wife.
Is it wife?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they weren't married. I thought they, like in the game, they had said girlfriend.
I'm pretty sure it's his wife.
Okay.
So that's why he has skin in the game. That's why he goes.
You're the Dead Space expert, so I'll believe your words.
I'm very sure it's wife.
Are you doubting?
I am doubting because I want to say wife. I'm pretty sure it's wife.
I thought he was the girlfriend. So, yeah, while you do that, I'll take over this little bit, and I'll let you pick up after. That way you're not sitting here waiting. That's not it. That's not right. There we go. So, yeah. Game overall starts with Isaac and his group going to the Ishimura, talking about how impressive it is. Isaac is watching a video log of his significant other.
Oh, well, that doesn't help me at all. The wiki's like girlfriend/wife. So I guess both are right.
Alrighty, so the significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah, significant other is on the Ishimura, and that's the only reason he goes. He's watching this videotape who knows how many times. They make it on top in the Ishimura, and the thing is like fucked up. It's like saying, hey, there's no life on here, everything, all the safety systems are down. Be careful. Isaac, go check out. They go into a little room. Hammond, big chief man dude, says, hey, go check out in there. Well, we'll wait in here while you tell us what's going on. Excuse me. And as they're in there, you hear a good old nice...
Yeah, you hear skitter-scatters.
You hear skitter-scatters and pitter-patters in the vents and all the metallic stuff. And next thing you know, boom! Something drops down and everybody starts shooting at him. And you were told, Isaac!
Not before the lights go off.
oh God, I forgot about the lights.
Yeah, the lights go off.
So, anyway, then they tell Isaac to run, split up, we'll meet up. Isaac, Taylor? Is that her name?
Which one? There's Clark, there's Hammond, Daniels, Johnston, and Chin.
Daniels, that's the one. I was thinking...
That's the computer lady.
Yeah, for some reason Dead Space was popping in my head. Alien Isolation was popping into my head, and Taylor is the one that's in there.
Yeah.
So, you run through the Ishimura... As you get chased by God knows what, you run into a little room and you see on the wall written, "Cut off the limbs."
So that's one of the best parts about this game is atmospheric storytelling. That's why the game, unless you're in your inventory, everything is on your back that you need to know. So your health, your stasis, oxygen, all of that is incorporated into the suit. That way, there's not HUD to get in the way. It's basically you and whatever's in front of you.
That is funny that lifeline actually means something, because even in the Dead Space movies, they die and you just see that fucking lifeline drain. Yup.
Yeah.
God, I would love to see that in real life, so y'all be questioning on how much life we actually have.
It makes for really cool scenes. Like in 2, when you watch the doctor slit his throat, you see him lean up against the glass, and through the reflection of the glass, you can see his rig go red and then disappear.
Yeah. Man, I wonder how much... I'm really curious. If I had it on right now, would I be at full HP, or would I be at like half HP?
I don't know. Because I don't know what dictates it dropping, whether it is blood loss, or like if it goes down because you're sick, because it's tied into their spine. Like it's a part of them. It is on their spine.
My only other thought would be heartbeat.
And it could be heartbeat.
So, anyway, you pick up this thing, the little plasma cutter. There it is.
That's another great thing about most of the guns in Dead Space. I say most because the assault rifle definitely isn't a tool, but the plasma cutter
is a tool.
The plasma cutter, the rip saw, what else? The javelin gun,
the line gun. Yeah, line gun.
Yeah, they're all tools for mining. And like it's just like, hey, this is what we got. That's like in the movie, they use saws.
Yeah, honestly, I wish...
The force gun, the contact beam, the ripper, line gun, and plasma cutter.
I'll tell you this, because I played the remake. I played the remake recently. I played it earlier last year. The force gun was amazing. You get them in a big old group. I'd say that as like my last ditch weapon. I have like 8 or 9 of them charging at me, and just go bam, 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 and blow them all up.
Yeah. and most of the guns do have an alternate fire.
Mm-hmm.
The line gun makes mine, which if you're mining and you want to put down mines to blow out a section of wall, you've got it. The plasma cutter rotates. That way you can cut off squares. Which one? The Ripper, instead of the saw being in front of you, it shoots it out to eject the saw. What's the force gun's alternate fire? Is it the big like push on the ground?
I think so.
Yeah. The pulse rifle, by far my favorite alternative fire, at least in the original. You just squat down, the barrel turns at 90 degrees and turns into a helicopter and just fires.
I like the remakes version because it turns into an explosive.
Yeah, that's what it was in 2. It turned it into a grenade launcher.
Yeah, that too. But I like that one more than the original of the, just cover yourself kind of thing.
Right. The only one that I'm iffy about it being a tool is the flamethrower, because technically it could be a tool for burning off organic material in like a mine or shit like that. It could be used as a cleaning thing, like, because as you notice, the vents are big enough for people. So maybe there's someone who has to go in there every now and then in the vents and has to clear out like dead skin cells or shit like that. Bugs, rats, Either that or there's an Elon Musk up there who's like, I just want a flamethrower.
Yeah, honestly, nothing wrong with just a flamethrower.
Right?
It's the most underrated weapon because one time I got into a really bad situation and the flamethrower was all I had left.
AoE.
Yep. My cat's trying to unplug my shit. Fuck off, minion.
Mine's still asleep behind me.
Mine isn't even a year old yet, so he's still crazy.
Mine have all officially been spayed and neutered, so
I need to put a rubber band on him. So, let's see. You get your gun and you start rummaging around through the ship until you find Daniels and Hammond. The tram is broken, and you are told by them, go take care of this tram, go fix it, and we'll meet up whenever we're able to.
Mm-hmm.
So, go through the ship, shoot off some necromorphs, you pick up a thing called the stasis module, which allows you to freeze things for, 10 seconds? 5-10 seconds?
It depends on if it's upgraded or not.
You can just freeze stuff for a few seconds, then you also get a kinetic energy thing that allows you to pick up and yeet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
regardless of weight.
Yep. Well, okay, no, not regardless, because you can't throw the brutes.
Yeah, there are some things you can't pick up, but once again, it's a tool. Like, I could see people going like, "Oh, I got some ore here on the ground," and picking it up with their kinesis and dropping it somewhere.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I want to say pretty much everything is. A lot of these things are tools. You have the occasional weapon here and there.
Yeah, like the gun, the assault rifle.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting what the hell that thing's called. A pulse rifle. That's it.
Yeah. So you have to find the data board. You heard that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to find the data board.
So, can we take a minute to just say that if Isaac would have been any other profession except for engineer,
he would have been fine.
No, just how fine, yes, because he wouldn't have been. But if he was here and he was another profession, I'm a painter, and he's here, it's like, hey, fix that tram. He's like, what do you want me to do? Paint it?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of it. It's like Ellen Ripley in Alien Isolation. You just happen to have a super smart character doing all this stuff.
Could you imagine if you were in the boots of Hammond, he's just a security dude without an engineer suit to protect him?
Yep. I hadn't even fucking thought of that. That'd be the fun. Right? He's a chef. What do you want me to do? Cook for it? Cook?
Yeah, I'll cook the tram a nice meal. Maybe that'll fix it.
So you have to go find the God. It'll be funny, but you have to find the data board because it's getting everything's repaired. Go on through the ship to find the maintenance bay. Well, you have to get into the maintenance bay in order to actually fix it. You have to find the key. Let's see here. Go through, kill some more necromorphs. I believe at this point, is this where you see the... This isn't where you see the baby. This isn't where you see the baby. It's a little later you see the baby.
Oh, first up, you said baby, and I thought of the ones from 2 that explode.
God, I hate those, too. I hate those.
Yeah, they're
But I'm glad the necromorphs do not discriminate age nor gender.
age nor gender. You're correct. We're getting really close to where I would like to start talking about
I mean,
morphology.
hell, if you want to, this is your thing. You can just start taking over again.
So, I love body horror. I don't like ever since watching the original thing. I have loved body horror. So like they're like my what do you call it? It's like my bread and butter for horror.
Yeah, body horror, body contortion, shit like that.
So the baby, would you like to know what its necromorph name is?
Okay. I'll edit through either way.
Yeah. My favorite thing about them is let's just do your bog standard slasher, which is, they're
stabbies.
Yeah, the one that runs around that you mess with the most. So slashers, the way that the marker works is it's like, what could I use right now that would be most beneficial to me? That's why it starts with slashers, where they're either a person who they take the bones, remold them, make the spines pop out of their hands, or they're
Is that what that was? Are they the spines? I thought it was the. I didn't realize that was.
No, they're not. I'm calling them spines because they're the bone blades.
Oh, okay. You mean like actual like spine, not like spinal cord spine.
Yeah, not like spinal cord, but like just like spines. Because I mean that's technically what they are because they're not sharp. Actually, they're the body is able to use all its strength, so they act like they're sharp.
Okay.
It reconfigures all of the necromorphs it needs to what would be the most potent to make more necromorphs at that point. So that's why it starts with slashers, because there's a lot of people, and the marker can just very easily make the bone blades come out of its hands, or like make its original hands of vestigial and make extra bones come out of their shoulder blades. That's the reason it brought me into this, is because the lurker and the other baby, the crawler, the reason it has those, one, they're small and it can get them a lot of places. Two, it's to make people who are fighting back think twice. Because if this is all going down, you're not going to just no-stop attack a baby. You're going to go, oh, is that a child or is that something else? And all it needs is that split second, if you're a regular person, to get you. And then as it builds up the biomass that it needs, it'll start making, the special variants. Like the brute, which if you look at the brute, you can tell that it's definitely more than one person. Like it's got multiple shoulder blades, it's multiple legs, arms, and all that. And there's an interesting theory that the spitters, the exploders, the ones that have like the big explodey sac on their arm.
Yeah.
There's a theory that the bacteria that makes the necromorph, the reason why there are some exploders is that bacteria gets in and mixes with the stomach acid, and that's what it turns into, is the exploders. That's what makes it so volatile, is it's whatever the bacteria is plus the stomach acid that makes it go boom.
So they ate them and then they got in there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, it's amazing and I enjoy it. The big one that I want to talk about, because in the game, no matter how many times you take it apart, it regenerates.
Oh, the regenerator. That was made by, what's his name? The doctor. Actually, let's get to that in a little bit. Because I'm going to keep going to how we're going.
Then I won't talk about it, but no matter how you take apart a necromorph, you do not kill it. So you can cut off all its limbs, take its head off. That necromorph is still technically alive. It's just the marker has stopped puppeting it because it is no longer useful, because it's just, a piece of a body. Which, I don't know, I find that really cool. Where it's like, yeah, it's still alive, but the marker's not going to do anything with it because it can't do anything. So think about that next time you take apart
you've
slasher.
You've told me that before.
Yeah, just think about that next time you take apart a slasher. You're like, that thing's technically still alive.
The lore of it's fun.
Honestly, given the chance, so you watched the movies, correct?
I have seen the first animated one, and I want to say I may have seen the other one, the like weird 3D animated one, but I know I've at least seen the animated one.
So the first one, that's why necromorphs, no matter what the body is, they put them in piles. That's why they drag them and make piles, is because whatever the marker needs is what it'll make out of the pile. So that necromorph that you took apart, say another slasher comes across it later on, it'll pick it up and it will run its happy little ass back to the pile and drop it in. And the marker may go, I need more slashers, and it'll use body parts to build that one back up and a million more and send them out. Which is why they're never truly dead.
One thing I found out that is interesting about the lore of Dead Space?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you don't do anything, they don't do anything.
How so? How do you mean?
Okay, so I saw this thing in this is more so in the remake, not the original, but the weird like the wyvern-esque looking ones, the like whiptails. The first one that got pointed out. If you don't run from them or show fear, they don't know how to react, and they will not do anything.
Are you talking about the ones that they're two hands and then they've got the big long tail? The leapers?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a reason because they're an ambush. They are an ambush one. So it's not. That's like the infector. The infector really, its main job is to just infect bodies. But if you mess with it, it'll attack you. It would much rather just turn the bodies into slashers and let them attack you, but it will defend itself.
The bats, I hate those.
Yeah, the infectors, the bats. Flying towels is what I like to call them.
I've always just called them I call them I have the weirdest names for it. You have the stabbers, you have the babies, you have the bats, you have
I'm guessing the stabbers are the slashers.
The main ones, yes. You have the jaguars, which are the leapers, I guess.
The ones where it's two arms and a tail?
Yeah, they're like jaguar scorpions.
Yep, they're leapers.
You have
what do you call the ones that run at you and headbutt you? Because I used to have a really different name for them before I knew their real name.
First one? Are they in the first one?
Are they in the first one? Well, you've played the second one, right?
I have. It's been a little while, but yeah, I'm trying to remember. I've played that one once, and so I don't remember everything in that one.
So I used to call them chicken dudes. Because that's what they look like to me.
Oh, you mean the stalkers?
The stalkers, yeah.
I
used to call them chicken dudes.
I called them the ladies because they sound like ladies.
Oh, when they do. So you know why they do that scream, right?
Probably throw you off. It's like a cougar that'll do that to throw you off.
It's to make the one that screams and pops its head up. It's to make you look at that one while the other one tries to attack you.
Okay, yeah, the one they explode on impact. That's what they fucking do.
Oh, okay. The ones that are you talking about the ones that drag around the big yellow sack?
No. Those are slammers or boomers.
Those are exploders. You were close with boomer. It's exploder.
But no, we're talking about the same ones, the like little stalker things. At least in the two.
That have the hard head and run at you.
Yeah, and they don't they explode?
No, they do not. I think there is a variant that explodes.
Because I'm remembering in the church early on in the game where I thought they explode.
I don't think they ever really explode by themselves.
I mean, I know I blew them up because I did the assault rifle with the explosion thing, so I know I fucking bombed them. But maybe they killed me too quick. Anyway, back to it. You have the brutes. You have the boomers. You have
the brute. You're dead on with that one. Its name is the brute.
Then you have the spitters.
That one's correct. Yes.
You have the ant bites, or the floppers,
The ant bites.
or the floppers.
Which one is that?
It's those little ones that are just like the 4 little like things that just flop all the way around. If they get on you, you have to hit A button to mash them off.
Oh, you're talking about the divider, the one that like you shoot it once and it falls over and breaks into pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big boy.
Yeah, the divider.
There's another one that like that as you shoot it actually splits apart into 5, and that's the splitter.
I might be thinking of that one because it's one where like it's the head, it's the arm.
No. Yeah, that's that's the splitter. This is a different one. It's is it the no? This one's like entirely. This is the big fat one. You shoot it open, it falls down and starts crawling at you, and you have like the little babies that come out of it.
Oh, the pregnant.
Yeah,
that's its name. It's the pregnant.
Yeah.
God,
I see
it. Drops
it.
out the little swarm infectors. Or swarmers, I think is what they're either swarmers or swarm infectors. It's something.
Swarmers, but they're the floppers.
Yeah, my least favorite, other than the exploder, the one that carries along like the big bag, and he's up there as one of my least favorites because they actually still talk. Like if you sit there and listen to the exploders, they'll still talk to you.
Huh.
And so do the cysts. The cysts are still alive. The ones that have their lungs on their back and like puff out.
Oh yeah, that one made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, the cyst is still a person. It's just they have made their lungs grow out of their back.
Wonder if that's painful.
Probably.
So, back on
the Weezer, I think is what it's called.
The
the
Weezer.
Weezer is the one with
the Weezers.
That one makes me feel so uncomfortable.
The fucking Weezers.
you walk around the corner and you hear, it just starts singing "Island in the Sun."
No, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm imagining Jimmy Neutron as like you round the corner.
Oh,
Jimmy's mom, croissant.
See, I was thinking of Weezer the band.
We are two very different people.
I want a mod now that where you turn the corner and you hear.
Dale, since you can do it, you need to get a mod that does that or makes them sound like the Weezer family from Jimmy Neutron.
Lord.
All right. So anyway, we got way off topic for like a solid 20 minutes.
And then the Guardian is another uncomfortable one. The one that's stuck to the wall and the tentacles come out.
Oh and it spits out
people.
And it spit the wall spitters. The wall demons.
Yeah, they're still people because they'll talk to you too. I'm fine with body horror. Don't make the thing that's body horror still talk to me like that, please.
Why do I feel like we've talked about this before?
I don't know. We might have.
I'm having deja vu. So anyway, back to the tram. So we got to get the data board. Tram is on its way. Maintenance bay. We're out there. We get the data board, install it, get everything's good. Tell Hammond and Daniels everything's great. We call the tram, and we're finally going into the. We're trying to get back to the Kellyon to run. That's the ship you enter the Ishimura on, or I guess enter. You don't crash. Run diagnostics. Once you make it onto there, you hit a button and then it starts going haywire, beeping, and boom, it explodes.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're officially stranded in the Ishimura.
Yeah, there is no chance of escape now.
Who needs escape? We're Isaac fucking Clarke.
Yeah.
So, after that, everything goes boom. You go escape out being chased or killing the whatever's leapers and slashers.
Yep.
Slashers.
Those are your box standard one.
And then you have the babies.
Yeah. I want to say creeper.
Whatever babies. Tentacle babies.
Yeah. Yeah, tentacle babies. Yeah,
No, this is
everybody knows what we're talking about if we say the babies that have tentacles that come out of their back.
Yeah.
Lurker.
Okay, I was ahead on some of this. I thought you got the kinesis earlier. Okay, you get kinesis in the medical deck.
No, you don't. Yeah, you get it because you get...
You go into the medical deck, you intensive care to try and...
because you get that signal from Nicole in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which do we give spoilers on this?
Not till later.
Okay, because finding her is one of my favorite parts of the game.
Oh yeah.
And just because they do it so well, so I'll wait on.
You go to the medical deck to try and find everything. You hear the whispers of a female survivor who isn't all there. Before that part weirded me out watching it again. I forgot about that. Is she's looking at like a disembodied body. It's like, hey, honey, look, I told you he'd be here.
Yep. Because it's making them go mad.
Yep. Dale, how
breaking them?
Do you think we'd be the middle ones? Because we're normal average intelligences. How do you think it'd affect us? You know more about it.
Honestly, it would prey on my anger and make me go like really angry, killing people. Because that's what it does.
Okay.
Like say you're super depressive, it'll just make you kill yourself.
Oh.
If you're angry, it'll make you kill other people because it makes you see vision.
What if you're really happy and absolutely nothing's wrong in your life?
It's Dead Space. No one's happy.
There's somebody out there it's not in the lore, but it's like immune to the marker because they're too fucking happy.
Maybe it's like the pyro from TF2. How he's blowing his flamethrower, but like in his mind he sees it as like rainbows and he's tickling all the people.
Yeah. God, that's sad. He's like, God, that is sad.
It's Dead Space. No one's happy. We're talking about an alternate universe of humans where they have exhausted every mineral on the planet.
I know, but I would like to think that the way you beat the marker is you're just too fucking happy. It's like, ugh. You've seen Gravity Falls, haven't you?
Yeah.
You remember the final few episodes where they go into like Mabel's mind? And it's just so fucking happy. And Bill doesn't want to fuck
right in here.
Bill doesn't want to fuck with it because it's too damn happy. He's like, ugh, no. It's just the marker tries to take over. The marker tries to take over, and you literally just hear it shudder and go, ugh. So, go to the medical deck. You pick up the kinesis module from sad little lady who just passes over, and now you gotta go through specifically. You have to blow up. So now you gotta find some thermite. Finding thermite and shock pad in all due time. Head towards research wing. Look for an item on the ground. Save point. End of the hall is one of those malfunctioning doors, which you use a stasis to open and to keep the door open.
Or you don't, and you get turned into giblets.
Yep, that too. Let's see. DoorDash, main lab. Check cabinet for some plasma energy. Let's see. Go on through. You find both of the things. Find some audio logs. Audio logs are fun because it's like just people on the Ishimura, and you can kind of hear them before everything's going haywire,
right. and after.
And as too, because some of you are they're kind of getting chaotic as it's all going.
Yeah, there's a few where like they're during the beginning of the outbreak, and some that are like after the outbreak. Like, the dude who originally tells you to cut off their limbs, you can pick up an audio log from him. And that's like a dude who's like, it started and he like it's in the middle of it and he's like, I figured it out. Take their limbs off.
Yeah. I was thinking of the data log, yeah.
Yeah. There is a data log too of that.
So
they tell you quite a few times.
No, yeah, I know. Take their limbs off. They want to reiterate, even if you don't know at this point by shooting off half a dozen limbs over the past 2 minutes, shoot their limbs off. So you get
limbs off.
So in the lab, you find the thermite. Then you have to go to the shock pad. Through the shock pad's another door. Slip in through there. Grab all the shit. Let's see. You can now get to plasma energy. All this stuff. You have the ability to get schematics too. You don't have to. This game's only weapon it actually gives you is the plasma cutter.
Yeah, and you can beat it with plasma cutter.
You have. That's what I did on the last time. Was just plasma cutter.
Plasma cutter. Because you can make it so strong by not splitting up your little power nodes on other weapons.
Yep.
Yeah, you can make it to where it just basically one taps them.
Especially on like the easiest mode.
Oh yeah.
I really wanted to go through because it's the original one that has the finger bang cannon.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through that trial and tribulation though.
Mm-hmm.
For understandable reasons.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go on through this next little area of. I think it's still part of the lab. It's another like little. It's a diagnostics wing. Diagnostics wing. That's where it is. Go in, everything. Get power nodes, which will upgrade things for your weapons and armor and all your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Then you have the oxygen. You walk through a broken part of the ship, which is oxygenless, out in space. So you're now at this point told you have an oxygen meter of like 90 seconds at first.
Yeah, it's definitely enough that if you're not screwing around, it's okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Like it's what you would expect an engineer who's not meant to be outside to have on his, suit.
Yeah. I know entirely what you mean.
Well, because there are different types of engine. There are EVA engineers in Dead Space who, like, instead of having like what Isaac Clarke has, because he's like a mechanical engineer, where his suit has like armor pieces on it to keep him from getting hurt. There's EVA ones which are meant to go outside the ship and fix the ship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, get the shock pad, make your way back to the medical area, destroy the barricade, go in, because right now you're trying to find the captain's rig to get access to like the main commanding area to try and figure out what's going wrong, because the ship's down, shit's going on, pieces of the ship are getting all fucked up. So, continue on through, then you get yourself the captain's rig.
So the captain, which we see him in the animated movie, he didn't die for like, necromorph reasons. He died because he was such a staunch believer in unitology and was going crazy because of the marker that they were trying to sedate him and accidentally ended up stabbing him in the eyeball through to the brain with a needle, trying to like sedate him. And if that's not a shitty way to go, I don't know what is.
You know what? That's fair. I can only think of so many other worse ways to go.
In normal ways.
No, I know. I can only, like I'm saying, I can only think of so many other ways to go.
Right, it's up there with burning and drowning. I sent you a picture of the EVA suit, by the way.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see this suit.
So, like the EVA suit is basically just an upgraded, like, spacesuit that we have nowadays.
Man, that looks badass.
Yeah. It's got no armor. It's just meant to keep you alive in space.
I thought that was armor. It looks like it's a lot of more metal.
No, the only metal on it is the chest plate and the face shield.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because if you don't know already about how most Dead Space suits work, most of them, that metal plate that you see that and think is the front of the helmet, that's just a metal face shield to keep the glass from breaking on the suit.
You mean it's like the slat thing that like Isaac has with the green?
Yes. Like if you look at Isaac's suit and you see like the green lines, that's the glass underneath the helmet.
Yeah, that I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a real good picture in one of the animated movies.
Why am I watching a dude take apart a metal duck? I don't know. So, anyway, you go into this area and you go to like more of like a morgue, like hospitalized area. And then you get introduced into another variant of the necromorph. Because you look in the room, you see the captain in there, and it's like, hey, you're the guy we need, pretty much. And then you see these little flesh bat, which is what I called them as the flesh bats, plop in, like go claw, 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 shove itself into the thing, into the captain, and then
shoves a proboscis.
Yep, shoves its prodiscus into it. And then you see that this is what changes the normies, humans, dead corpses, anything, into the necromorph. And you have to fight, kill the captain. That is cool. I like it's a horrifying thing. Like seeing that thing actually work.
There you go. There's you a picture of what the backside of that helmet looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that right there, what they're wearing is the mining suit.
I never realized that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you kill the captain. Watching the flesh bats, whatever they're called, the floppers?
Infectors.
Infectors?
Yeah, they...
is really weird and cool.
Yeah. Well, they're made in the same way that, like, the facehugger from Aliens is made. Those wings, while they do give them some sort of conveyance of movement, they're meant to grab you and hold you still while they shove the proboscis in you.
So then the ultimate question is, because I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
Like,
I've never seen it happen to a living person. Can I do it to living people?
yes, there is an execution against Isaac, where if you let the bat get on you and don't do anything, those wings will wrap around you and it takes your head off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, Dead Space is such a family-friendly game.
Oh, it really is.
So, anyway, kill the captain, get his shit, and then you go to engineering.
Mm-hmm.
As you're in here, you're trying to get back to Hammond and all that shit. Course correction is chapter 3. We're in chapter 3 right now. There's, 12 chapters? 13 chapters?
I can't remember.
So now you got to refuel the engine to get everything ready. After departing the tram, check the area for 2 items. Let's see, machine room, enter refueling control stations. Spy a creature roaming the underside of the walkway. See him again soon. Yeah. Let's see here.
That was some type of English, yeah.
No, I read exactly what it was. See something on the bottom part of the platform, then you run into it.
Oh, for whatever reason, my brain didn't computate anything as what you said of English, except for, yeah.
Minion, what the fuck are you doing? What did you knock over? What the hell did he knock over? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Just a random thud behind me, and I can't tell you what the fuck he knocked over. He knocked over my gains! You bastard! This is why nobody loves you! Stupid cat. So, continuing on, you refuel the engine. After that, you are told to go activate the centrifuge. Activate the centrifuge to get everything going online. Let's see here. And then engine's not working, so now you have to manually ignite the engine.
Like, I find it okay that, like, you can manually ignite an engine. When that engine is in, like, a truck or a car, could you imagine manually igniting a spaceship engine?
Yeah, it'd be fun. And I'm looking at this picture, because this is a funny-ass thing that happened. I actually have this, Dale, if you want to, really quick. Because you have... Do you still have your YouTube pulled up?
My YouTube, yeah. Why?
Go to Games and Gamers really quick. There's a short I did in here, I'm pretty sure. Let me check to make sure. But there was a short of this actual one, which I'm probably going to edit in because it was just one of the funniest things ever. Yeah, it's our second one.
Spooky moments?
Yep, spooky moments. Just I want you to watch that for me. Because this is actually this moment. I'm going to edit it in afterwards because it's a funny-ass moment.
I'm watching it.
The worst feeling when playing Dead Space is when you know there's stuff in the room. I haven't killed anything, by the way. I turned around and tried to find an explosive. But you leave stuff in a room. You come back a few seconds later, and that room's just empty. Oh, I see one. Over in the corner. Right there.
And it's not there.
And you see it in the back fucking corner just murdering somebody.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm talking about right here is I'll edit in.
What I think they did great with this game is if you leave one behind, or like you kill a bunch of them and one runs away, you know it's going to come back with friends sooner or later.
Well, the funny part with this was I entered the room. I was like, you know what? I want to see if there's an explosive. I leave it, I go back and find it. I couldn't find that explosive, and then I open it and they're just gone. I was like, "What the fuck? Where are they?" And so then
an even worse feeling is there are some rooms where like you go to leave thinking you killed them all, and you walk up to the door, and the door won't let you out because there's still one in there somewhere.
God,
you're like, fuck.
It's all fun. It's all fun. But yeah, like this.
Dude, they're like spiders though. You take your eyes off of them, they're gone.
Yeah, no, this one was just funny. Like, it was just funny because I opened that door 3 separate times before I recorded that short to make sure that my game wasn't glitched because I didn't take a step in. So I open it, it's like, I don't see them anywhere. Where the fuck are they? I leave. Now they're going to be back there. I open it again. They're still gone? No. Close. Open? No. I close. Okay, here's the thing. Tunk. So, you manually reignite the engine. Now you have to go to the bridge. Because the ship is getting hit by meteors and all that shit, and you've got to stop it. And I hate this part of the game.
Recalibrate the ADS cannon.
I hate this part of the game. Chapter 4, Obliteration Imminent. Meet Hammond on the bridge. You meet Hammond on the bridge, and he tells you, hey, all the shit's going down. You also run into another variant of the things which we call the brutes. And also at this moment, too, we can see something. One of the crewmates, no, in the remake it's called a crewmate, but I think in the original one it's just a random person.
Mm-hmm.
Is you see one in a space pod, or an escape pod, and you see it get ejected into space, where Hammond's like, yeah, nobody will have to worry about that now. Things are dangerous, though. So, he tells you ADS cannons are down, go get them fixed so this whole space station isn't destroyed. Space station. Activate the elevator. It's big enough to I consider it a space station.
No, because the space station implies the fact that it is stationary.
I mean, it's stationary right now when it works.
Well, technically, yes, it is stationary now. It can still go somewhere.
Well, I mean,
space stations orbit only.
Oh, not all
normally can't move themselves.
Yeah, it can move. I'm gonna call it a space station because the absolute size of it. Right or wrong, it's a big ass space station.
So, how big is the USG Ishimura?
Big. It's not like the Titan station in 2 by any means.
Well, no, because okay, it's a mile in length. Do you want to know how big the biggest spaceship in Halo is?
The hell, we're not even talking Halo.
I know, but I want to give you an idea.
Fine.
When you play Halo, you will be on this spaceship.
Okay. Oh, I thought you just had the number ready to go.
No, I've got it right here. The largest human spaceship, the USG Infinity, is the moment fucking low. Where's it at? Give me the number. All right, continue talking. I'll tell you the number here in a minute.
Okay, so go and activate the elevator so you can go exploring more of the ship. You fight a brute as you're about to go into one of the areas. Brutes are big bad monsters that are ugly. Personally, they're my personal favorite in the game. And the original one, like normal, out of the enemies you can run into. Kill it, reroute the ADS power. You have to do this multiple times before everything works. So go to these areas, reroute it all so the ADS, because you have to like turn off this chunk of the space station to get the guns working right. So you have to do this 3 times. After the 3rd time, you are like, Hammond's like, hey, the cannons still aren't working. They need to be like manually redone so they basically like it's like training them back into working condition, pretty much is what it is. And I hate this part of the game. I legitimately hated this part of the game. Did you really? Yes! God, it was so annoying! Trying to shoot the things, and then they're just like, huh.
The USC Infinity is 3 miles long.
That's a big space station.
Big spaceship.
Space station.
Shit. So there's a cool thing that you can do with the ADS. Only the meteors in the middle screen count. The ones on the side won't ever hit you. Like the ones far out on the side don't ever hit you. You can just aim at the middle ones in the middle screen and still pass it.
No. I don't care. I did it how I did it. I'm not happy.
In case you wanted to know.
I didn't. I thought I had to shoot all of them, so that's why I hated that part.
No, you just shoot the middle ones.
Well, fuck them. So anyway, yeah, cannons get set up back to normal. Everything's going good. Then you got to go meet up with Hammond one more time. He wants you to go do some shit to do some actual stuff. So go to the tram station one last time. End of chapter 4. Going into chapter 5. Lethal Devotion. Let's see. I'm trying to find specifically. I can't remember what he says specifically.
What? Who says?
Why Isaac's going to get chemicals and stuff.
Oh, it's no, it's not to knock the thing off the ship.
No, that's way later.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I know he has to go to medical.
Yeah, this is where you deal with the Weezers and all that stuff.
I think it's because the Weezer's spore system is fucking with the spaceship's ventilation.
Yeah, that is. Life support's getting fucked up, yeah. So now you go into this enemy, you go through other thing, a wall enemy, or Wall E for shorts, is what they're called.
So the Guardians?
Yeah, here on known as Wall enemy.
Yeah.
Or Wall E for short, yeah. Let's see here. Kill all the things. You gotta find yourself a DNA sample. Dr. Demented. Oh, that's right. You have Crazy Doctor.
Oh. Callus Mercer, you mean?
Yep. Well, it's Doctor. After grabbing the chemicals, a Dr. Demented will have a short chat with you. As soon as he's finished blabbering, one of his creations will spring from the test tube and attack.
Yep, this is where we run into my least favorite enemy, just because of how annoying he is.
So anyway, chemicals on. You hear a doctor, and he starts talking shit about the marker. How he starts talking not about the marker itself, but talking about the prospects of what could be done if humanity embraces. Yep. You know, convergence. I was getting to that word. Word.
Make us whole.
Yep. I hate that line.
You don't like make us whole?
It's because the implications of it are really weird in later games, and it's just really weird.
Yeah.
So, you have to take on this thing called the Hunter. His Hunter, or Regenerator, whichever it is, looks like, I guess, a slasher. It's a stabber. It's a stabby.
It's like an upgraded slasher.
It's an upgraded stabber. And
this is the same guy, by the way, Callus Mercer, who trapped a guy in a room and turned him into the first leaper.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why the leaper is the way it is, because if you notice, as the body goes back, and that's its spine is what makes the tail.
Yeah.
You can see its feet wrapped around the spine to give it more power.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's the one who studied the first leaper they found.
Interesting.
And was feeding it people.
So let's see. You find the chemicals, deal with him. You fight his regenerator. If you shoot off. This one cannot be killed. Like, you shoot off its arms, shoot off its head, shoot off its legs.
They come back.
It'll eventually come back, which defies stuff. Especially at the speed at which it regenerates. But you know, it's a video game, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah. So, it's either a theory or it's been confirmed by now. The reason why the regenerator regenerates is because Mercer infected a person in a different way than you would normally be infected. So instead of, I got stabbed by a flapper, if you will, or I got killed and the marker turned, he was feeding some guy the bacteria that's inside of a flapper instead of, him being injected with it, which is why people think it can regenerate so fast, because it still has the human quality of being able to seal up wounds, because it was changed in a different way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Long story short, Mercer was fucked up in the head.
I mean, it's like you said, Dale. Everything in Dead Space is kind of fucked up. There is no happiness. Everybody's just there.
Yeah, there is no real happiness in Dead Space.
Yeah, no, it's awful. So anyway, get the DNA sample. You start running away from this thing. Back to security station. Continue to the diagnostics room. Head to the Ishimura clinic, meeting with Dr. Demented once again.
Okay, here we go. So the Hunter was created by Dr. Mercer taking a live patient and inserting necromorph tissue directly into his brain.
Why?
Yeah. And this goes on to say a very slow transformation into the creature. And so the Hunter was subsequently developed by Mercer through several surgeries on Brant Harris to create the final version of the necromorph.
Dale, have you seen the movie Tusk?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, that's what's going through my head right now. But it's just Tusk.
Which, if you look at the Hunter, you can see his rib cage has been pushed up, and it's like his hands are bound like he's in a jacket.
Let's see if I can find a decent picture of him. The Hunter. Let's see. Let me get a good look at him. Oh.
Yeah. See, his hands haven't become the slasher pieces.
No, it's like a separate one.
Yeah, because they've been grown off of his shoulder blades. Because he couldn't use his. Because basically, my guess is his hands were chained up, which is why the marker was like, okay, well, they're vestigial now.
You know what? If the marker realized and gave him 4, like actually having like pictures, that thing could have been actually terrifying.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm glad it didn't go. Let's just give him 4 for the fuck of it.
Dude, I wish it did. Honestly, you know how cool that would have actually been.
I can't think of actually any necromorphs that have like more than the normal amount of human limbs.
I'm looking at pictures right now. I think you're right.
Like, they either have the same amount of human limbs or like no limbs, basically.
Oh, okay, so it's much more evident in the remake of your arm thing you were talking about.
Right? Yeah.
Either way, it looks cool. I don't like the tongue. I don't like that tongue, though.
No. Well, because it's kind of like the bottom of his jaw isn't there.
Yeah. Probably got broken off. See, now you can, then afterwards, you'll restore life support after running away and getting away from this thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Create a poison. Oh, no. This is where you're starting to deal with it, because there is something kind of fucking up the ship. This is the big one. Yeah. You're trying to create a poison in order to fuck up with the big thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, try to get it off.
That's what it is. Okay, so you were right. It is a Leviathan.
Yeah, okay. I thought we were close to that. I was like,
No,
we're coming up on it.
Killing a Leviathan's way later, but talking about
But
it,
the
yeah.
reason, yeah.
So yeah, so we were so basically right now Isaac's whole thing is he's trying to get the Leviathan off of the ship because it's fucking up with everything inside of the ship, life support, all this stuff. So you're trying to poison it and get away from it. Getting a DNA sample in order to recreate a poison to actually get rid of it. Then you have to restore life support because the weezers are shutting everything down. So now you create the poison. When oxygen reactivated, exit the door leading to diagnostics. As you exit the door, slam shut. Don't let it scare you. A few moments. Blah blah blah. Go to hydroponics. Now you're going to have a boss fight as you're entering the hydroponics. Hydroponics, you're in like a little cryogenesis room. And you see Dr. Mercer come and say, Isaac, we meet once again. Say hello to my little friend, Isaac. And then the regenerator comes in. And this fight is, it's cool the first time you do it. It's cool the first time you do it.
Yeah, it's cool the second time you do it in Dead Space.
Dead
Space 2.
The only time it's one of those ones is like it's you know how some boss fights lose their luster after the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This one is very much...
Yeah. After the first time, it gets annoying subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah.
The only time I've actually enjoyed a regenerator fight is in 3 when you get to blow it away with a big-ass asteroid-clearing cannon.
Huh. I haven't played 3 yet, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but you get to do it.
Is it on the ice planet?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, if just say yes if it's ice planet.
No.
Okay. I feel like you're lying to me.
It's near the ice planet.
So, after you kill this thing, the way you do it, you have to leave it in the middle, trap it in the middle, and then you freeze it. I can't tell you where the fuck it goes after that, though. Because once
you cryogenically freeze it, so it can't do anything.
Okay, so but it stays on the ship. They don't launch it out or anything. It stays on the Ishimura.
As far as I know, yeah.
Oh man, could you imagine if it's not? It's like on some derelict planet.
That would be so shit. I think it might actually be the same one you fight in 2, honestly.
That'd be terrifying. And now just a whole planet of necromorphs. It's like no one's ever been on this planet, and it's animals. Like the animals are turned into necromorphs. That happens, doesn't it?
Maybe.
In 3?
Maybe.
That's not okay, you know what? Fuck it. You Dale, we're gonna have to play it.
What, 3? Yeah,
yep.
I'll play through 3 again. I enjoyed 3.
I have it on my PS3. We just gotta get I got it. You gotta come over here, get me a bigger TV, and we'll be dandy.
Get you a bigger TV.
Well, yeah, we're gonna try and stream it, and I'll use my laptop for everything. And I don't think you want to look at my little small TV I have. Yeah.
We actually, I don't think we'll be. I wish you had it on PC because we could do co-op.
No, that's
it's a co-op game.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted you to come over. You can do split screen co-op.
It has split screen co-op?
I'm 90% sure.
If it does, fuck yeah.
Let me.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, there is none.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's why I was asked about it. Because I figured it'd be like Extraction, because Extraction's 2-player. Yeah, we can come do that on the Wii. Want to play the Wii, Dale?
No, I think I'm done with the Wii.
Please? Just once?
I'm good on the Wii.
Dead Space?
I'm good on the Wii.
You bastard. You can't come play my GameCube then.
It's fine. I got something that emulates the GameCube perfectly fine.
It's better to play it on its weird little controller, though.
Okay, back to it.
So, now, once you get the poison all taken care of, you're now in you destroy you freeze the thing. Matthias, you don't kill Matthias, do you? Not Matthias. Mercer, yeah, I had it backwards. Matthias is the captain.
I think he gets killed by a necromorph by himself.
Yeah, Mercer gets killed a little later. Spoilers.
Yeah.
So, environmental hazard. Now you poison Leviathan. Let's see. Off the elevator, do you drop everything off, destroy the poison pods? You know, because this is stopping you from going there. Kendra report to you. Now have to destroy 8 poison pods. Stop the air from being further poisoned. Bust open a box. Next hall is full of leaking pipes of poison. They blink and just beat before go. Grow chamber, poison pod. See, hydroponics. After regenerate refrigeration, west, open the box for an item. Check out the lockers. This game has a lot of, when it comes down to it, here's a story beat. Here's 30 minutes of just dead quiet.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Like, it's...
instead of looking at that walkthrough, here's you a better one, dear.
Oh, good. Oh, is this for the remake, though?
This is for the remake, but the remake is close enough to the original
All
game. That's
right.
why I've been reading through it, because it's very well close to the original game.
All right. God, I have a ways to go.
So, regenerator, freeze.
Yeah, I just got to scroll on through checklists. Here we go. Chapters. We're in chapter 6.
Yep. We are in environmental hazard.
Yep.
See, I've just been reading that one that the one that I showed, like, on the front page, because it's just like the main story beats of that chapter.
Yeah. So they go to hydroponics, create the enzyme, audio log, back to hall. Dr. Cross got a guide. Oh, sorry, Dr. Cross. Gain access to food storage, because, that's where a lot of the things go in. IGN, why do you want my location? Inject the Weezers to get them to stop fucking with the air. Strength to the grown out of the Leviathan spewing toxins into the ship. From the central hub, the doors landed West Tower, now store. Ninja store follow flow to control. The room contains a series of sprinklers, dangerous chemicals. Ripper upgrade. Yeah, you really think about it, this game can kind of feel empty. Because of how much shit is just walk through and grab.
Yeah. That's a lot of them, except for the third one. The third one is there's not very many moments of quiet. But in this one, I feel like the moments of quiet, especially if it's your first playthrough, are just building up. Like how scared you are, because
yeah, the atmosphere builds up.
Before, and you're sitting there and you're walking through the halls and you hear a creak. You're gonna jump and you're gonna look at that creak was that something coming out of the vent, or you'll hear skitters and you're like, ooh, what was that, kind of things. So I think this game does it very well.
One thing we're doing right now is
never played it.
We're not running through the story very well, which is our fault.
Yeah. So would you like me to take over from the other side of it, the instead of the checklist, the guide?
Yeah.
So after his confrontation with Mercer, he heads to hydroponics, like we just said, to Dr. Cross to stop the poisonous gas and inject the Leviathan out into space. During this time, Isaac discovers that if he fixes communications, he could send an SOS out into space. So, in order to meet the ends of that goal, he heads to the mining sector, where he finds Nicole. She's happy to see Isaac. She assists him, although they're forced to take separate paths. He's happy that she's alive. And he returns to his mission, attaching the communication box to a meteor and just shooting that shit out into space, hoping someone can hear it. With the communication array in place, he heads to... I think it's at this point that we head back to the bridge, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we head back to the bridge. And to activate the communications array. And we realize that the Leviathan is attached to the ship. We're going to have to get rid of it manually. So we go outside, manually detach it from the ship for good, and you get in touch with the spaceship, the USM Valor. It's on its way to rescue us. And then the soldiers on board say something that you would hope you would never hear. They picked up a USG Ishimura escape pod. The exact one, which in the remake is holding Corporal Chin, that Hammond jettisoned into space.
Man, what a coinky dink.
What a quinky dink. What a quinky dink.
I hate the games that happen to run on coincidence.
Right.
Shit would be so much easier if it didn't, but, like Alien Isolation. One of my biggest complaints in Alien Isolation is that game was just, oh, shucks, that happened as we didn't need it to happen. And I hate games. I'm okay with it once or twice, and this game handles it. It's not an ever-changing, oh no, this just happens to go, this door happens to break as we're about to go through there. I like this one a hell of a lot better because it gets to the point of, like, space pods. It gets sent off into space. Part of you would think somebody's going to pick
never coming back.
Well, that, or part of it's or there's a chance it's an escape pod. Those things set off a distress thing.
Yeah.
There's a chance it could get grabbed. This will start elsewhere. Theoretically.
Could you imagine you shoot it off into space and you're like, whew, and then like you don't know, but like 2 light years away or something, there's another colony just happily on its own, and a fucking escape pod lands, and they're like, oh, someone must be in trouble, and they open it and it starts again.
Yep, it's.
How shitty of a day would that be?
Oh my god! You know what? It probably has happened.
Yeah, probably. So after the USM Valor says, "Hey, we found your escape pod," it breaks open and the Valor crashes into the Ishimura. After investigating it, you figure out that all the crew is dead, with freshly turned necromorphs in their place. Which I think, at that point, is that when we find the Twitchers?
Yeah, because
Pretty sure it is.
because some of them were like it has something to do with like the stasis, the kinesis, stasis pods.
Their stasis module screwed up, and that's why they go from like being real slow to they'll hurry up and speed at you, and they'll go slow again, and they'll hurry up and speed at you because their stasis module's malfunctioning.
Yeah, they're moving fucking godly fast.
Yeah.
So we're in chapter 7, Into the Void, right?
Yep. They are close to one of my favorites because, like the stalkers, the ones who hide and scream at you and run at you, the Twitchers will try to dodge your bullets. And like later on in 3, like the Twitchers, when you fight them, if like they see you aiming, they'll lean back and try to keep you from hitting like their arms off or their head off and shit like that. So after it crashes into the Ishimura, find all the crew dead, all the freshly turned necromorphs. Isaac and Hammond decide they are gonna craft a singularity core to,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna, they're gonna find a craft singularity core. Unfortunately, at this point, Hammond is killed by the same necromorph he shipped off.
Chin!
Yep, Chin, because they're gonna... No, they're not gonna... They're gonna travel through the craft and... Oh, Lord. They're trying to blow up the singularity core to knock the ship off of the USG Ishimura.
Yeah, because isn't it? It's like trying to pull the Ishimura back down to the planet and like fucking up the gravitational.
Yes, pulling it. Yeah. Because the USG Ishimura is gravity locked with the planet like a moon would be. So while they're trying to destroy it, or all that, Hammond is killed by Chin. It's at this point that we return to the ship. Isaac is going through the crew quarters in hopes of finding a shuttle that he can insert the singularity core into to, just get the fuck out of there. And he comes face to face with Mercer again. And the red marker, which is the marker that they pulled up from Aegis 6. We get to fight with another hunter. And we eventually get to meet Dr. Terrence Kine, who is the guy who accidentally killed the ship captain. You can tell he's, messed up from the marker, but he begs Isaac for help and reveals that down on Aegis 6, or I think it's Aegis 6 is the name of the planet.
Yeah.
The mining efforts down there unveiled the hive mind of the Ishimura's mining efforts unveiled the hive mind, which was made from all the biomass of all the people dying. It appears that the hive mind is behind the necromorph outbreak, but if the red marker is taken back down to the planet, they could use it to steal away the hive mind. So Isaac agrees to help Kine take the marker back down to the planet, hoping that this will end things. He loads the marker onto an escape shuttle, and then you encounter Mercer again before he's killed by a large tentacle.
You do see these tentacles throughout the entire game, though. Like every once in a while, you'll enter an area, and then Isaac will get grabbed. You have to shoot it, otherwise you get killed. Like shoot it in this little gas pods.
Yeah, I think their names are like super
Califragilisticexpialidocious.
Dude, they're like really well thought. Their actual name for the game is called Tentacle.
I mean, it's like brute.
Yeah. So he gets killed. After all that, he successfully loads the marker into the shuttle, returns to the docking bay to fly down to Aegis 6 with Kyne, Daniels, and Nicole, who's still with us. However, after he arrives, Daniels murders Kyne and flies out of the hangar with the marker because, surprise, the whole time she's a unitologist, which is why she was on this trip, because she heard they found a marker.
Them damn unitologies.
They're everywhere.
Dale doesn't know I am a unitologist too. I believe in the marker. Altman be praised.
According to Daniels, the red marker was actually built by humans, and it's a direct... Yeah.
Oh, God.
So the red marker was actually built by humans. It's a direct copy of the black marker, which was found on Earth, which I would have went into the lore of that, but we would have been here for like 6 hours.
Quick lore on it. It crashed in the Earth when dinosaurs was around.
Killed the dinosaurs. People came out.
Yeah, killed dinosaurs. It waited for people to get smart enough to actually utilize it. Whenever the people finally utilized it, it started washing up necromorphs in a small little island village, and they started fucking around with that and started changing.
Yep.
Did Altman be praised?
Altman be praised. So the government caught wind of the unitologists' attempt to retrieve the marker from Aegis 7, and to prevent their efforts, they sent the USM Valor, which was the ship that found the escape pod, which is why they picked it up. So that's where I did that wrong. The USM Valor was there to help Daniels extract the marker. Wasn't there to stop it. They were there to try to help her get it. Then we're abandoned on the ship to die. However, Nicole gets in contact with us, telling us to meet her in the hangar. In a strange sequence of events where Isaac drifts in and out of consciousness, he and Nicole recall Daniel's ship to the docking bay, forcing her to eject down to the planet's surface in an escape pod. Then Isaac and Nicole get in the ship and fly down to Aegis 6 together to stop the red marker, or to stop the hive mind by putting the red marker in place. However, once they get it in position, it fires a red beam of energy into the sky. Soon after, Nicole begins to rant to Isaac about make us whole and beginning the convergence. Realizing the marker isn't there to seal it away, it's there to start convergence, which is basically it gathers as much body mass as it can and turns the planet itself into a necromorph.
Yeah, but it tries to make a planet-sized necromorph to just spread throughout the galaxy to take over the entire galaxy.
Which then Isaac he attempts to remove the tethers around the crater housing the monster. While removing them, he runs into Daniels, who takes Nicole hostage. And then she tells us that we have been corrupted by the marker's influence. And she shows us the video of Nicole killing herself.
Yep.
Long before we ever arrived.
So, and it was so let's cut to that little bit, because that was a fun little twist they added. So what we saw at the beginning of the game is, I'll edit in now the actual thing, so future Hayden, do your stuff.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing. In the end, it all comes down to this one little thing. I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once. I loved you. I always loved you.
Okay, thank you, future Hayden. So, watching that, we see the whole thing. It cuts off right as she's like, I love you, Isaac. And, like, right before she actually injects herself. Well, how she injects herself is I didn't realize. You know how she kills herself, right?
No, actually.
So, she gets
she just
empty syringe.
air into her veins?
Yep, to get an air embolism and just kill herself.
Yeah, so she has a heart attack.
Yeah, so she died. So the video you just saw, it cuts off like right, literally like 2 seconds before she injected herself with the air embolism. So I think it was like, I love you, Isaac, and that's where it cuts off. Then you have like a little bit later is a thing, and you just see her do that, shoot it into herself, and die. That's a fun twist because the whole reason this game was, like the whole plot of this game wasn't surviving the space station. It wasn't to kill the necromorphs.
Get Nicole back.
It was to find Nicole. And lo and behold, you can't anymore. That was such a good twist.
Mm-hmm.
And
the even better part is how Nicole was helping us the entire time. We'd just been projecting her form over Dr. Cross.
You know what's even better, too? Is if you go through all the chapters, as was pointed out, if you look at the first letter of the chapters and line them up, it spoils that.
Yeah.
It says Nicole is dead as the chapters.
Yeah. So, the marker's been using Isaac as a puppet. Realizing it's too late to stop the marker, Daniel shoots Cross and tries to flee the scene by hijacking the shuttle. But then it gets grabbed by the hive mind and crushed. And after that, you fight the hive mind and get a new shuttle into space. And after sitting in silence for a few seconds, he turns to look in the passenger seat and sees a dead version of Nicole staring back at him. And she stares at you for a few seconds, then attacks.
Did we talk about that planet itself and fighting the hive mind?
I mean, I just skimmed over it real quick, but we can talk about fighting the hive mind now.
Because the fun thing about the hive mind is everything you fought on the Ishimura, like said, like started collecting at the base of it, which is what's caused like big bad thing the hive mind itself, at least.
Yeah.
And so that was a fun thing to like utilize everything. I wish I know they couldn't have because this was like 2008, 2009 when this game came out, but what would have been fun is the difficulty of the final boss actually depends on how many necromorphs you killed throughout the game.
Right, how well it knows how well you did.
Mm-hmm. Like there's, we'll take we'll use Silent Hill for an example. Silent Hills have multiple endings in the game, and someone could be based on how many enemies you've actually killed in the game. Mm-hmm. I think it's possibly. I think Silent Hill 2 does it. Possibly Silent Hill 3 does too. But like, let's say if you kill more than 10 enemies, the game registers. Okay, you've killed more than 10 enemies. We're going to give you more. You're a violent person. We're going to give you more of a violent route. Yeah. It would have been fun if this hive mind is a like let's say you could have gone the entire game theoretically without killing a necromorph, except for like maybe the brute, because you have to do him in the Leviathan, like for the elevators. Like just let's say there's 5 in the game, you have to kill. That's all you have to do, and then the hive mind itself is still the theoretical same beast itself, but it's just a hell of a lot weaker. Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
It doesn't know how you fight.
Yeah, well, that's not even that. It's like it's just it counts how many you do, and let's say it has 100 HP, and every necromorph you kill adds another 100 HP to it. So you kill 5 of them, it's at 600 HP. It has a bit more, let's say twice as much HP as the Leviathan to make it a little harder. But let's say you only have to kill those 5. So let's now say there's 1,000 necromorphs in this game. Let's just use that as an example. Let's say 19. Let's say there's 19 of them. There's 19 of them you have to kill. That way he goes from having 600 to 2,000 HP. That would have been a fun thing to it, and a fun hidden difficulty that people could really fuck around with for the entire thing. Is, okay, how much HP can we actually get this thing to do? Or how many necromorphs can we dodge and not have to kill? How easy could that final fight be? That would have made it, in my opinion, a hell of a lot cooler on how you play the game. Still fun when you go through it. But that would have made for the final fight... Because, it says all the necromorph parts collect at the bottom to make this monstrosity. That's fine. But, it would have been much more... I feel like it could have been done boss fight better had it literally been how many necromorphs you actually killed throughout the game. And they add up HP.
Right. So, did you ever get the secret ending?
And the remake, yes.
Okay. That one is such a twist because it shows that he's still fucked up by the marker.
Yeah.
It's like,
so
he saw her die, and then...
So, for those who don't know the secret ending, like, main ending is you see, like dead Nicole on this ship, and Isaac's conscious. And he's conscious that, he's getting away from everything. Like, he realizes he's been taken over by the marker. He's trying to get it out of the system. Yeah. The secret ending of the game is he doesn't realize it. So he's on the ship leaving, and he's talking to Nicole, and she's like, "Will you make us whole again?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely make you." You know what, Hayden, future Hayden, do your shit.
The Ishimura really was a great ship.
Yeah. We were lucky to see her in her prime.
Are we going home, Isaac? There's so much work to do.
Soon, I promise. Gotta build a little something first.
For me? What is it?
It's a surprise, sweetie. But I think you're gonna like it.
Basically he says, I got a surprise for you. I think you'll like it. And she walks up, and the camera pans up for a quick second, and you see the blood coming out of her eyes and all that. And she just lays her hand on him, and he grabs it, and she's like, "Oh, I'll like it if it's your surprise." And then it fades to black.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Honestly, we butchered the first half of it because it was me. I wasn't on the right thing. I was trying to follow the original one, and I had the remake one up, but I was trying to follow the original one, and I could not find a good original one.
Yeah.
So that first half is on me entirely. But Dead Space itself was not a bad game. I had some of the issues I had with it were more...
Vamp for a minute. Let me go grab the big dog from outside.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going my review part anyway. So Dead Space itself was a good horror game with a lot of great atmosphere shits to it and all that stuff too. Fun collectibles you can go do, and through the audio logs are fun to add to the lore. Dead Space itself is a good game. I feel like a lot of people should play, and even with the remake, the 2023 remake that came out, make it even better because it's more modernized. The combat in this game is a bit wonky, I'd say. God, I don't even know which one we're reviewing. We'll just review both of them, like a soft review of one of them, and we'll say a hard review of the other, and I'll let you guys decide which. But Danger and I are definitely going to play the Dead Space remake eventually, so that one will be the true thing. This is a fill-in for the month of February right now. But, so, when it comes down to it, Dead Space, great atmosphere. Music was eerie that went along with it. Some of the enemies got really annoying because... I don't know enemy-wise if it's just me, but I felt like sometimes the base enemies would like have varying HPs. Like the leapers. Yeah. The leapers, as opposed to taking like, and I'm not even talking about like the variants, because you had like the
enhanced versions.
Yeah, because you had enhanced versions which were just tougher. Then you had the normal version. But I feel like some of the normal versions would sometimes either take 4 shots, shoot off, here's this limb, 1, 2, shoot off to one limb, shoot off the other limb, now it's dead. Or other times you'd shoot it like 6, 7 times, and then it'd still be going at you. Yeah, so like enemy HP, enemies are inconsistent in this game, which does bother me. It suffers from one of those things. This is just a me nitpick. I don't know how Dale would feel about this, but the fact the entire game, we don't know if our teammates actually do anything. They say they are, and it's all like, "Hey, Isaac, can you do this for us?"
Get used to it.
No, I know that's what it is. I'm just saying it's one of those, and then also we made the joke of the coincidence, like. I don't care much for coincidences in some degree. I like this one because it at least utilizes. We're going to throw back to Alien Isolation because Ellen Ripley is an engineer in that game too. And I even bitch about, you play that game, you really never get to see her utilize her engineering aspects.
Right, but at least in Dead Space you do.
Sort of. That's where I was about to go with, because as I'm thinking through it, there's not a whole lot of... 2 does it a hell of a lot better, where it shows off his actual brain.
Yeah, where he can get in the computer and scramble it and unlock doors and shit like that.
Yeah, the 2 handles it a lot better, because I'm thinking in this one it has a lot of those issues of like early on in the game. Oh, you got to go reprogram the tram. Then Dale had said, "What if he's a painter?" And I was thinking of rebuttaling it then, but I didn't need to. Is as advanced as it seems to be, this game does not have the true advancement that you'd think an engineer would be doing. Because it's like, how do you stop this? Well, it goes out and you can't grab it. Oh, let me just do this kinesis thing, the stasis. That way it'll actually go slow enough that it doesn't fuck up and then grabs it. It has quote-unquote puzzles that don't quantify it for an actual challenging thing. As engineer-level intelligence, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, and you can chalk that up to, say, humanity at this point knows they've been in space long enough that they try to make everything they can dummy-proof.
No, I know. I know. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm not trying to downplay the game. I'm just I want the game to if a character is this genius level character. Isaac is a smart fucking dude. 2 and 3, I know 2. I think 3 shows it off more, but 2
is very good about it. Just for the story beats in it of oh yeah, Isaac, you did that.
Yeah.
You made that. And
I like those games where it does utilize those kind of things. Not okay, he's an engineer. It's just adding to the character. Ellen Ripley. She's an engineer. I'm not gonna.
And like you said, 3 does it really well because you're building guns. Nobody else in the game has guns that are buildable, except for Isaac.
So I haven't played 3, so I don't know about that one. Yeah. I threw that one out there as assuming he did.
Yeah, no, in 3, because you build your guns, you're ripping pieces off of other broken guns. So it's oh, I have the rotator cuff from a plasma rifle, or from a plasma cutter. You know what I can do with that? I can put it on this one, and instead of it rotating to make the beam go vertical or horizontal, I can do it to where it rotates and brings up an alternate gun. So I can have an assault rifle on top, and you flip it around, and then it's your box standard plasma cutter that's always stuck in horizontal. It's badass.
So yeah, stuff like that I like whenever they actually utilize the character's brains. I will say Dead Space, it could be me, is I can really think of 1 or 2 moments of the entire game that Isaac's brain actually get utilized as opposed to just hit a button. And I know it's literally hit a button, because that's how the game is. You don't need to hit a sequence of buttons. I wish you did have to hit a sequence of buttons. Like Isaac's working on a computer, you do a quick time event. That would have made me happy. This is the nitpick in my sense, which will dock it. And also, Dale, I think you got to rate this game at the end 1 through 10. I figured you knew that coming in.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Okay, so I would that right there kind of docks it in my opinion, just because it's a genius character made simplistic, and I really don't like whenever they do it because it's never handled well enough in my opinion to really make it worth it. 2 does it fine because you get to see it. 1 has, like later on in the game, whenever Nicole and Isaac are trying to recall the ship, you see Isaac hitting a few buttons because Nicole says, hey, you can do it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that I have no issue with, but that doesn't really happen enough in this one, so Isaac's engineering is kind of just, okay, there's a character moment. He's an engineer. Good for him. Which I bothers me. The xenomorphs were fun. I really do like, because they were unique. They were designed very well, and they had enough variety in here that I felt good. I felt fine playing with it. Like
the games, especially later on, do it really good. They do it really good of putting you in a room, and it not just being slashers and then the next room's leapers. They do a very good job of like, well, that room had slashers and spitters, and then you walk in the next room, and it's like, oh, there's leapers, and there's the pack, and there's the little babies crawling on the walls.
Yeah. And I like games that do stuff like this, because we're going to hark back to Spider-Man. One of my big, because I bitch about my experiments still going in Spider-Man. But, like, Spider-Man had, like, 3 enemy types that were just reused. I don't like games that have enemies that just, they reskin, reuse, call it dandy. This game had the quote-unquote reskin, which are the enhanced version, but there's at least enough enemy varieties to do that, so I'll give that one a positive.
But, like, even the reskin enhanced, they're stronger. They do more damage. They take more shots.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm using Spider-Man as an example, because, you have Brute, you have Thug, you have Weapon Thug. I know there's, like, 5 enemy types, but, like, this one has, like, 8. Is it 8? Is it 8 different ones in this game?
Let's see.
Slasher... leaper,
so you got your
baby,
slasher, your leaper, your spitter, your baby,
spitter,
twitcher,
bomber, twitcher,
the exploder, the flap,
flappers, the flesh bats. Yeah, that's 8. That's 8 right there. That's good enough.
Did you do the pregnant and the divider?
10.
Yeah, so 10.
So 10 enemy types, and this isn't a relatively long game. I think it's about 8-9 hours.
Yeah, give or take.
Like, it's not a relatively long game, so like pretty much every hour a new enemy is introduced, and I really like that. This was a good way to handle this game. This game is also, it's one of those ones. Dale said it's good about. I think he said it's good about getting you scared. It's really not a scary game. This could be a hot take in there. It's not a scary game.
It's more of a jump scare game.
But it's more of like a you hype yourself up to get scared more because it's a horror game on this place. Like, oh no, these things come out of everywhere. I've played through, believe it or not, as shitty as I actually talked about it, yes, I have played through both of the versions of it. I have the remake streamed on my channel.
So it plays on, and a lot of the horror in the game, you're right, it is you hyping yourself up.
Yeah.
Because like we said, there are areas where like you walk for 5 minutes and nothing jumps out, but it's dark and there's weird noises and things like that, and it's you going, oh, what's that? Oh, it could be a necromorph. Oh, it's dark in that corner. I bet there's gonna be something hiding in that corner. It's you doing it to yourself.
Then you have the dead bodies that you could sometimes run across, and oh, what do you know?
Yeah. Like in 1, because I know in 2 they like to do it. In 1, are there any? I can't remember all the enemy placement. But are there any of the ones that like to lay down and pretend to be dead?
Yeah, no, that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, okay. Because I like 2 does it to you right off the bat. Like you get to that first door and it jumps up and you're like, oh, I found a store. It's a safe place. And it's like, well, now we're going to show you that there is no such thing as a safe place in Dead Space. Yeah,
and I like whenever that, like that's fun. But like I had my dad play, at least I think he played about half of it, just to kind of, because I was gonna, I wanted to get Dead Space done, and he said if you weren't able to, he would. And whenever I said you would, he stopped playing it. He didn't like the game, but he said it wasn't a scary game. And he doesn't play. And he doesn't play horror games. He wasn't hyped up by it. It was more of, okay, there's gonna be something probably spooky happening now, and he'd always, because I watched him play, he'd always be like maybe a minute or so off when something spooky would happen. It's predictable.
It is, and that's like, A good way to put it. If you're a big boy about it, like I can walk through the game and not be scared unless something just like jumps out of a vent. But like walking through like the 5-minute sections, I'm just running through there, like not walking, just like legit running through there because I know nothing can happen. Like it's dark and there's weird noises. I'm just gonna run through it because the game's really good about like, like it gives you those build-up sections, and once you learn that, you're like, oh, this is a build-up section. I know what this is.
So yeah, I want to say overall, I'm gonna give the game probably a 7 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8, but that's just because I like it.
No, that's 100% fair. Is like I see this one. If I want to give it like an overall like true like game review, I'd probably give it a 5. Realistically, because I see a lot of people, the storage management, I see a lot of people bitching at, because that's a weird, it's a dying art, it's a dying breed of game, the storage management. I don't have an issue with it if it's handled right. But also item thing. I want to point out one thing, because first playthrough I ever did of this game, I made it to chapter 8 or 9. Before I stopped, I restarted it. I ended up restarting it because I went off it for a while. But this game is, and it makes some sort of sense, but because at this point in the game, I had all the weapons. And this first time playing through, I had all the weapons. I knew nothing of Dead Space, and then I saw one of the achievements that says, beat the game with only the plasma cutter. It's like, man, this plasma cutter must be really strong. So I started selling my other weapons. I had the Ripper saw, I had the Ripper, I had the flamethrower, I had the force gun, I had all this shit. I don't know which ones I actually had, but I had all this shit. And I start selling them. In the original, anyway, I didn't do it in the remake because I kept everything. But as you go on through, the game will still think you have said weapon in your inventory, and you'll never get the ammo you need. So it ended up fucking up my original playthrough.
Once you unlock a weapon and then purchase the schematic, and like actually buy it after you bring the schematic to the shop, that's what sets up the spawns for the ammo. So no matter if you have the gun in your inventory or not, it'll still spawn that ammo.
Yeah, and I found that out. That's why that's why that account. Oh, that's another one. That one kind of went debunked, was because of the that right there, which is unfortunate because I was streaming that one on Twitch at the time, but oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. That's later on, they do it real good because no matter what, you're going to have multiple weapons in 3. But they have it set to like plasma weapon, so like plasma energy, and like I forget what they do the other one. It's like whatever you would call like lead bullets. Like there's only 2 types or 3 types of ammo in the game. In 3. And no matter what, you're always, unless you just like want to have the plasma cutter, you're always going to have at least 2 types of those, and the game is just going to keep feeding you that.
Mm-hmm.
So they do it better later on. Like in 2, if it notices you don't have the guns in your inventory, it will not spawn that ammo.
Man, that sounds so much better than 1.
Right? Yeah, it's just... It was, my guess, it was the only way they could think of how to spawn the ammo. Is once you unlock the gun, they think you're going to have it in your inventory at all times, so they're just going to start spawning the ammo. It's like, it was a restriction of time, is my guess.
Yeah, and I mean it's 2009 too, so you can't expect all the things to be fine-tuned. I don't blame that at all.
Yeah.
Whew, man, this was not a good one, Dale.
Why is that?
I fucked up in the beginning so much.
It's fine.
Oh well, Dead Space. This is just a fill-in because February is a short month, so this is a fill-in. Not that Dale isn't ever welcome on the Games and Gamers, but
I
this
see how it is.
But
I'll
this
go back
is
to hiding in my closet.
But get back in the basement where you belong, boy. Get back down there with Charles and Leopold. Leopold will tell you stories until either you die or he dies, and he's immortal, so there's only one way this is gonna go.
Come here.
fucking falling down the stairwell, falling down the stairwell. But no,
I forgot to tie my shoelace.
so I apologize. More of this one is just Dale and I just chatting about Dead Space, because I like Dead Space. He knows about it a lot more than I do. Realistically,
Yeah, if he ever wants to do a Warhammer or a Dark Souls one, y'all can expect it back.
Oh God, you know what?
That's a promise.
It'll be hard to do that because, like I said, I don't expect Danger to ever beat a Dark Souls game.
Ha, you're talking to a man who has beat all of them at least 10 times.
No, I know. That's why I don't expect Danger to. Like I bet he would want to, but I don't think he would.
Yeah,
it's like
Halo. I'm always down for Halo.
We do have another Halo one coming out at the end of the month for, I guess third. It depends on how the sequence of this is. I don't know if Danger's coming out first or if I'm coming out first.
Oh.
Because we have Batman today, well tomorrow, then we're gonna have Life is Strange. Okay, so I'll be first. I'll be first in February. So this will be our first thing for February. Right before all the shit goes down with Final Fantasies, and I guess more than likely Mario. Ugh.
More than likely Mario.
But, so yeah, we're going to have Dale on here again later on in Games and Gamers. So, Dale, thanks for hopping on to Games and Gamers. Stay tuned for, actually, you know what, Dale? Give us a random lore thing that you haven't talked about from Dead Space. Out of any of the games, just give us a random lore thing.
Altman never wanted anything to get out about the markers. In fact, he wanted to destroy the black marker, and he unintentionally became the face/martyr of unitology.
Yeah, I knew he didn't want anything about it. But that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you may know because I've told you before, but
no, I've read.
No.
I know. You haven't told me that. I've read part of the book.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not.
People may not know that.
Yeah, I'm not
entirely
entirely.
their first foray into Dead Space.
God, I hope we're not, because we butchered the fuck out of it. It's like, okay.
My beginning lore and the end was pretty okay.
I know, as my part, that was an issue, because I was trying to find a walkthrough of a game that's coming close to 20 years old.
Oh, it's getting there.
It's 15 years old, Dale.
It's getting there.
Video games. We love them.
Yep, video game.
So, Dale,
All right.
Dale, you got any good old plugs? You want to plug since it's your first true time on Games and Gamers?
I mean, I can. God. Yeah, give me just a second. Let me get my plugs up. So we got Yesua. We got fucking.
What the fuck? I thought I was like, fuck is a Yesua?
No, that was just me being an asshole.
Good. Okay.
If y'all want to find me, it's at $1 billion Pwn on YouTube. Other than that, I don't really do a lot.
They'll spell your name, because otherwise they're never going to find it.
BILLIONDOLLAPWN on YouTube. That's me.
That's a him. He does nothing.
Well, like I told you, I get into I'm gonna,
No, I know.
I'm gonna edit this, and then it's not perfect enough for me, so I don't.
We used to do Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, used to.
Yeah.
Before nobody else could play. One of them went off and got a fucking child.
He said he'd be down to play again.
Would he?
Yep. I don't know your thing. Yeah, good old Dungeons and Dragons Cataclysm. I still have a playlist of it.
So do I.
I randomly go listen to it because I miss these good old escapades. Yeah, Miss Dean.
Next time, though, I want someone else to be DM.
I mean, I can.
Yeah. It has been a while since I've just been able to play as a character. which is why I think I enjoyed Baldur's Gate so much, because I was just a character.
I mean, I can do that, and here's the thing: we can just come up with a story, and I can come up. You guys come up with the characters. I'll just make up a story as we go. I'm good at this. My imagination runs wild. Okay, I have a campaign ready now. Dale, let's go hop in.
Let's go hop in. Yeah.
Yep. But like I said,
You say that, I've got someone wanting to play Risk of Rain with me right now. So.
All right, no, I was making a joke. So
I know.
we are going to end this all here. So thanks all for listening. Like I said, I apologize. This one could have been a little better, but it's just kind of a fill-in for the month of February. It's a weird month because it's short. It's only 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So this is just going to be a fill-in. We're going to have Dale on a proper episode later on, possibly this year, maybe next year. It all depends on how things go with Danger in Games and Gamers. Like not even
like herpes, I always come back.
like the necromorphs, he's always here and he never dies.
I'm always there, and I'm always in your walls.
He's always in your walls to the balls. So, thank you, Dale, for hopping in with us.
Yep.
We're going to be back on next week with Danger's episode of maybe Tears of the Kingdom, actually. I think is what he's going to want to do is Tears of the Kingdom with his girlfriend. I think.
You think?
That's sometime this month. I'm not entirely sure if that'll be this episode or the next one. But just be prepared. Tears of the Kingdom. He said he's trying to binge play through it. You'll binge play through that one. But if I ask you to binge play a normal game that we need to review, you spend weeks to play it. Anyway, thanks all for listening. Say bye, Dale.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.